Radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Radical Rapid Fire Common Response of the Week Part 2 for November the 9th through the 15th. Leaguesy, even though I'm a collector myself, I don't see the point in having these enormous collections like some do, because what if there's a fire or some other catastrophic incident and all your stuff is damaged / destroyed? Putting such sentimental value into plastic and cardboard items is just silly. Well, I mean, you never know if you're going to have a fire. So, I mean, saying that people shouldn't have big collections because, there might be a fire. I mean, I get what you're trying to say. I mean, but people have big collections and a lot of sentimental things they hold on to. And I would just say, do whatever you can do to try to make sure that, I don't know, like, there's no way to plan against something like a natural catastrophic event, like a fire or a flood. I mean, but saying people shouldn't have big collections just because of that, there's many reasons to not have big collections. Most notably, it requires a lot of money, and, you probably are not going to enjoy whatever you collect, the huge collection, right? It's just going to collect dust. As far as putting sentimental value into things, people should put sentimental value into maybe old videos and old pictures of people that are no longer with us. I mean, not collections of just, DVDs and games and stuff like that. CPE1704TKS, that rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? We all grow up accepting a level of smoke and mirrors and fractals of blurred lines. I think it's the first comment anyone's ever left on a channel using the word fractals. I like the word fractals. And blurred lines. Makes me think of that, that one rap song with that really hot chick. Who's the guy? Robin Thicke was a singer? Yeah, that chick was really hot in blurred lines, that video. Altered Penguin. People kill me when they say, I blocked you. Like you guys were Facebook friends who had an argument about what condiment goes on a hot dog or something. You don't have to block people if you do not like their content. It's similar to TV, change a video or don't click on it, shaking my head. Well, sometimes I'll get a comment, usually if it's a lot of people triggered, simps of a YouTuber or whatever, some of their patrons and everything. They'll come by and I'll never see them on the channel. Never seen them on the channel. But they put in big caps, unsubscribed. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? I've never seen you before. And as far as what condiment goes on a hot dog, whether it's ketchup or mustard, everyone knows the answer to that. It's mayonnaise. Right? Mayonnaise goes on a hot dog, of course. Rune Mamba. Dreamcast guy's Xbox broke. And then he left me a link to the Twitter there. I haven't checked it out yet. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, but if it happens to anyone, I'm glad it happened to him. Well, I mean, I'm not personally glad when, something breaks on somebody. I'm not particularly, but like, oh, wait. So this guy, Dreamcast guy, he lies about things. Now, I don't know anything about the situation, but could it be possible that he lied about this being broke? Because he is a Sony PlayStation guy, but, just taking that aside. I mean, like I said, I haven't looked into this, but it's possible that he might be lying about this. That's always a possibility. And if it's an Xbox he got for free, then, what are you crying about? It's like if something breaks that someone gives you, you know what you say instantly? You say, it's a good thing I didn't have any money in that. Next up, we got Hayden Puds. Full Throttle is such a fantastic game. Oozes class from every pore. It's kind of weird. Where you put oozes there? I think of like festering wounds that ooze pus. Ooze is not like a... Ooze, ironically, is really not a classy word. Man, that guy oozes. I guess you could say maybe like that guy oozes charisma. But there's got to be a better word than oozes. So come back, find a better word there, Hayden Puds. Heavy Metal Gamer Show. Laugh out loud, the Jets were up by 10 last I looked, and then later that night I looked at the phone, and the Jets got beat. Not a surprise. They won't win a game until they get rid of Adam Gase. At least the Bucs got beat by the Saints. I hate Tom Brady, so seeing him struggle made me happy, especially after Seattle being drizzled turds against Buffalo, who are a rough team this year. Yeah, Seattle lost against Buffalo. Buffalo's a tough team this year, and Seattle's, a lot of people thought Seattle would be an easy Super Bowl team, but Arizona's looking a lot better, to me than Seattle. I think they'll wind up having a better record. As far as the Jets, yeah, they might go winless. They might. And, Trevor Lawrence, he might wind up on the Jets. The Jets might win that sweepstakes. I don't think he wants to go to the Jets. What's up with the New York teams, the Jets, the Knicks? Why do the New York teams, just suck ass so much? I don't know why that is. But yeah, the Jets, that's a joke. I don't know how you can be that terrible, And I don't know how you could be a team that is down by 10 to the Jets. Man, the Patriots have fallen far, even though they did beat the Ravens. Okay, the Patriots beat the Ravens, but I don't know. It was in a monsoon. It was in the rain, so I think mostly coaching and not talent won that game, even though I think Edelman is coming back for the Patriots, which might help a little bit. But even with the extended playoffs, I don't know if the Patriots will make it into playoffs. Geez, some great teams this year that you wouldn't expect. The Dolphins, not great, but very good. And Buffalo. I don't know what the hell's going on with Buffalo, but they can keep it up just like Arizona. It's interesting to watch. Afro Gamer Dude, worship indeed. It is absolutely insane. Jason would literally be nothing without the game collection. He doesn't even have a personality. A lot of his own fans care more about the guy's video game collection than Jason as a person. Well, I don't like MGR, but I watch because of the games. How many times do you hear people say this? This is the biggest thing I expose from this channel. You know how so many people were interested? So many people were interested, and still, consistently, more people seem to be interested and engaged on Show Off Saturdays, where I show off video games. Like, a lot of you would wet your pants. A lot of you would cream your pants if I told you on the next Show Off Saturday, I was showing off my entire game collection. Oh, Rick's showing off his game collection. I'm like, really? Like, people get this so interested over games, and, I just don't personally get it. Like, I'm sorry, that might trigger a lot of you, but I just don't get it. Sean Appenzeller, makes no sense to collect a bunch of shit you're not going to enjoy. That's like collecting movies and getting ones that you'll never watch. If he wants to get $50,000 for an RV, he should sell the games he doesn't even play, like 80% of his collection, probably. That's a good question. That's a good question people should pose to Metal Jesus in his comment section. What percentage of games that you have in your collection do you actually play? If I ask you about some random games I see on your wall, could you give me any answers on the actual games? Rayber80. These dudes don't play games. You get more praise for collecting games and finishing and or enjoying them. Exactly, right? I think people should get more praise for their skill at games and finishing games. Ironically, I would give more praise to somebody that had an entire collection emulated and beat all the freaking games, especially some of those harder 8-bit and 16-bit games. I'm not like the best gamer, admittedly. I'm not. There's certain games that I'm like, you know what? I just don't have the patience and time to learn that game, to get into that game. I'm not good at certain genres of games. But when I really get into it, I'm like, you know what? I can beat that Halo campaign on Legendary. And after I do it, I'm proud of myself, So I think we should put more into maybe the pride of actually beating games than collecting games. Or in cases of these bigger YouTubers, getting things sent to them. Think about it. Well, this is rapid response. I might extend to that concept a little bit more in something that's not rapid. Moon Knight 1985. I stopped collecting games a long time ago. I just knew it was a waste. I would buy a game and never get around to playing the game and waste my money, which I could be spending going out with my friends, to a pub and going to the gym, losing weight, and having a social life again. Imagine that. A social life, getting out, going to the gym. The thing about these collections is a lot of the people that collect a lot of stuff, it takes a lot of time to be home organizing, antagonizing over where you're going to put that, where you're going to put this. A lot of it is a waste of money. A lot of it is a waste of time. Unless you actually, maybe have like a smaller collection and you're actually watching a lot of the movies, you're playing a lot of the games, because again, like I've said so many times before, there's only 24 hours in a day and you're asleep for a third of that. Winged Avenger. He probably put that tier up hoping that some rich idiot out there would catch the bait. Someone who has more money than sense. I don't know which YouTuber you're talking about, Winged Avenger, but it could be a lot of them. You know, that's what's really insidious about these super high tiers. And they defend it saying, you know what? Well, I mean, you know, it's a free marketplace. It's capitalism. Just because you can feel like you do something shouldn't mean you need to do something, okay? No one needs a $300 Patreon tier. I don't care who it is. I don't care what YouTuber. Unless you are coming to someone's house, delivering things, and, you know, going there and doing yard work and shit for the person, no one needs a fucking $300 tier. Come on. Art Sensei. It's funny, I work at GameStop and got asked constantly if I was getting a PS5. I said, why? I have a PS4, Xbox, and a good PC with a backlog of games, and I don't think I could even finish. I guess priorities are lost on some. You know, as there's more and more consoles that come out, as we get further into console generations, it's not like, you know, in the beginning, when people would be so happy to move from one generation to the other because they're like, you know what? I don't like these crappy graphics. I need some better graphics, right? And people would move on from the generations. Right now we have a situation where these new games look a lot like the old games. There's no great graphical leaps. There's no great audio leaps. So I think some people are going to get to a point where they're like, you know what? This is kind of a scam. People are just charging us for basically the same games that look a little better. You know, you can even notice it last generation. I mean, there's games that were not a huge graphical leap from the 360 to the One or the PS3 to the PS4. So as we get further in generations, they're going to have to figure out something to entice people to get the new consoles. At least, you know, people like myself, especially early on, because I'm like, why would I pay $500 to get slightly better graphics? You know, why would I pay so much of a premium when there's already so much of a great backlog of games, and used games, some are like, you know, dirt cheap, you know? Haddington Rose. So I've skimmed through a couple of people who got the PS5 for free videos. RGT85, Short, Surset, Linus, Unbox Therapy, Spawnwave. And here are the things on Sony's list of what you need to say in your videos. 8K. Talk about the disc and no disc drive versions. How big the box is, unit is. How wide it is, mention the color. White plates are removable. Those last two are kind of weird. How wide it is, mention the color, and then they're removable. That thing looks god-awful with the white plates. I'll say it right now. That thing just, ugh, you know? I've seen it in pictures with different kinds of plates, and it doesn't look that bad with different darker plates. But it's almost like they want you to buy different plates when you get it. That controller, like, why? Why does it look like that? It looks so fucking stupid, right? Oh, yeah, very important. How big the box is. How big the box is. Oh, yes. Is it a small box? No, it's a big box because it's a big motherfucking console. So, yeah, talk about this, talk about that. Yep. I haven't seen all the videos. I don't have the time to watch all the videos, but I'll take your word for it there. Haddington Rose. These are things Sony wants them to say. Those fucking little shills, they want them to say those things, right? So, yeah, all those people on that list with the really happy, they're happy in the thumbnails. You know why they're happy in the thumbnails? Because they got a free console, and that influences them and their opinions on it in their videos. Brian Starlord. This has nothing to do with this, but if you want a good laugh, go to Ginger ASMR. Scroll over to Community. She advertises her OnlyFans and posts pictures. That's not the problem, but goddamn, go to the comments. Simp City. Oh, yes. There are many people in the comment section. I don't know if they have ever touched any part of a female. My goodness. She knows what she's doing. Oh, she knows what she's doing. What I want to know is, how is that on YouTube? Like, if you look at her videos, she is like, it's beyond suggestive. It is. I don't see how that is not like flagged as certain content. You know, certain content. She is putting her tongue on things. She is like everything. It's like pH. It's like going to pH to, jerk the gherkin. Right, basically. Only like, she's got clothes on, is what it is. Like YouTube, you're trying to clean up your platform from that kind of smut. How is that on the platform? So yeah, as far as talent goes, it takes absolutely no talent to make noises. AMCR, AMSR, however you say it. It takes no talent whatsoever. Even less talent than the React 2 videos. So that's an interesting concept. You know what YouTube videos take the least talent whatsoever? The least goes into these whatsoever. She films herself licking stuff. It should just be, she should name it what it actually is. I'm a hot girl licking stuff.